Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mnyandu. Welcome again to the Zulu language. I'm making this short video to kind of introduce the two most important rules in learning the Zulu language. Rule number one with the Zulu language, there are no silent sounds. There are no silent sounds in Zulu. For example, in the French language, if you take the letter L and the letter O and the letter I, that word is loi, which means law. But there's no W anywhere there. Loi, loi. In other words, there's a silent W there. There's no such thing in the Zulu language. Actually, in many African languages, right? So by knowing this one thing, you actually know a lot about not just Zulu, but many African languages. So rule number one, golden rule number one, there are no silent sounds in the Zulu language. So what you see is what you say. So if there is L, O, I, that is lo, I. Of course, it will never happen because two vowels can never be next to each other. But anyway, that's rule one. Rule two for learning the Zulu language is that basically, since what you see is what you say, and there are no silent sounds, you attack the vowel. You attack the vowel. So every vowel is basically a unit of sound, right? Because every vowel symbolizes a syllable, right? So a word like ukuthula, don't worry, we'll learn all this in class tomorrow. So ukuthula, there's you, and then a, ukuthula. There you go. So those are the two most important rules, the golden rules for learning the Zulu language. There are no silent sounds. What you see is what you say. Two, you attack the vowel. So you are accountable for every sound that is on the vowel. Every time you say a vowel, you are accountable for that vowel. Because kind of as English speakers, there's a propensity sometimes to skip over certain vowels. And again, we're going to get deep into the vowels of the Zulu language. So Zulu language uses the same vowels as English, but it pronounces them as the people who speak Spanish do. So in other words, you know, in A in English, in Spanish is A, well, so in Zulu too. So whereas A in English, in Zulu it's A. So whereas it's E in English, in Zulu, as it is in Spanish, it's E. Whereas it's I in English, in Zulu, as it is in Spanish and French, actually, it's I. Whereas it's O in English, in Zulu, it's O. Whereas it's U in English, in Zulu and in Spanish, it's actually U. So A, E, O, U. And now you have this to always remind you about this Zulu language, right? These rules will actually determine understanding of everything else we're going to do. So remember those.